Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm going to show you 16 great things that you can do in the counties of Norfolk and Suffolk. So these two incredible counties in East Anglia are packed full of incredible coastlines, forests, ancient Roman forts, iconic windmills, gorgeous villages, as well as lots and lots of seals, which is always fun. So let's begin in Norfolk with one of the many iconic windmills that you can find here, and that is Horsey Windpump. Where are we, Ellie?
At the windmill.
Which one?
Horsey, I think.
So this is actually a wind pump and not a windmill, because it wasn't actually used to mill grain, but it was instead used to pump water from one area to another in order to dry out the land. And this was extremely important in this area because this wind pump is located within the gorgeous but very wet Broads National Park. A few locations that I'm going to be mentioning in this video are actually located within the Broads National Park. Broads span over a large area of Norfolk and into parts of Suffolk as well. They are Britain's largest protected wetland, and they're also home to some of the rarest wildlife that you can find in Britain. In fact, the view from the top of Horsey Windpump gives you a great view over the surrounding landscapes of the Broads. And if only one wind pump isn't quite enough for you, I also want to mention a really nice walk that we did. It's a 1.5 hour long circular walk that starts and ends at Horsey Windpump, and on the way you go past some of the beautiful Norfolk Broads landscapes that are so serene, especially at sunset when we went. Although we did decide to do it on the hottest day of the year. I think at this point it was still around 30 degrees, so the bugs were out with a vengeance that evening.
No way! Bugs.
At the halfway point of this walk you will find this, which is Brograve Mill. And as you can see, this wind pump is in a very ruined state. It was built in 1771 and it was working up until around 1930. So for my next point, I'm going to talk about some seals.
Yay! I want to see some seals.
Because if you drive around 5 minutes from Horsey Windpump, you will get to the coast. More specifically, you'll get to a place called Horsey Gap. And this is one of the popular locations in Norfolk where you are actually able to see seals year round. Now, if you go between the months of October and February, you will be visiting in the seal breeding season. And in 2020, over 2,000 seals were born on Horsey Beach. If you are visiting during this time, obviously access to the beach is restricted so that the seals aren't disturbed. But there are some great viewing points so that you can see the seals lounging around on the beaches. If you aren't going in the winter though, don't worry, because we went in June and we still saw seals swimming around absolutely everywhere. Although maybe that was just Ellie's seal noises that were somehow attracting them. Is that the noise they make?
I don't know if it is actually.
So now I'm going to head down to Suffolk for our first Suffolk location of the video, and this one is very unique. Orford Ness is a 10-mile long part of the Suffolk coastline that is completely separated from the mainland by the River Old. So you do need to get in a boat to cross over. Today, Orford Ness is a nature reserve which is home to so much wildlife. What do you know? But it's the history of this place that makes it stand out above the rest, because this was a top secret military test site that was extensively used throughout World War I, World War II and the Cold War. Hey, did you need a toilet?
Lovely toilet. Yes.
I can't see anything.
At least it doesn't stink.
It was so top secret, in fact, that even to this day, people don't know exactly what happened here. The landscapes themselves are so unique. The way that nature has just been left to take over the remains of these old military buildings makes it look so surreal. As we first arrived on Orford Ness, we were told that we need to keep to the paths as there may be some unexploded ordnance still lying around, which is always fun. From here, we passed some old abandoned buildings and some sheep as well.
They're already so fluffy, I forget how fluffy they are.
Yeah. We then crossed this bridge and we could see Cobra Mist in the distance, which was a secret experimental radar built in 1968. You will continue to pass remains of an old bomb testing building and eventually see the remains of this building, which was known as Laboratory 1. So I'll move on from Orford Ness now, but I wanted to really quickly mention the village of Orford itself. It's home to the one and only Orford Castle, which is one of the most intact and remarkable keeps in England. It was built between 1165 and 1173 by King Henry II, and from the top you can see over into Orford Ness. although there was a lot of scaffolding when we went, so maybe not in our case.
Yes, you can see all of these amazing views, which I'm trying very hard to see.
Keep trying, you get there.
Yes,
Look past the...
my vision will get better the more I stare at it.
And before I continue on to the next point, I just wanted to quickly mention, if you do want to see any more of these locations in even more detail, feel free to check out my full East Anglia playlist, which I will link down in the description. And if you are enjoying this video so far, please do consider subscribing, as it really means a lot, and we have so many great travels coming up very soon. But anyway, back to the video and back up to Norfolk now. And when you think about Norfolk, you may not think about Roman history, but there is actually a lot of Roman activity in this area. There used to be a massive estuary here, and there were not one but two Roman forts located on the banks of this estuary. Firstly, you have this fort, which is called Burgh Castle Roman Fort. This one dates back to the 3rd century, and so much of the stone walls are still surviving today. Even 3 out of the 4 original towers are still standing, almost to their original height, which means that this is one of the best preserved Roman monuments in Britain. And as another quick point, off in the distance here you can see Berney Arms Windmill. We didn't visit this one because it was closed for repairs at the time, but if the other 2 wind pumps aren't quite enough for you, be sure to check out that one as well because it looks very amazing. There is also a great 1-mile circular walk to see even more of the Norfolk Broads from here. We saw quite a few boats on the rivers, which actually reminds me, there are so many places to hire boats and explore the Norfolk Broads by boat. So moving up now to the Norfolk Coast area of outstanding natural beauty, and to a gorgeous park dating back to 1812, because this is Sheringham Park. It's completely free to explore and it's home to some great woodlands, and I imagine at specific times of the year the rhododendrons here are incredible. Now onto another great location on the other side, spreading across Norfolk and Suffolk, is Thetford Forest Park. We visited a specific location within Thetford Forest Park known as Grime's Graves. This is a prehistoric flint mine, and it's the only one in the country that you can visit and that's open to the public. It's very unique and great to explore. It's quite small, but the fact that this was dug over 5,000 years ago.
Hello.
Hello.
It's me.
Heading back into Suffolk now, and just south of Thetford Forest Park is Bury St Edmunds, an absolutely gorgeous historic market town which is home to some lovely gardens, a cathedral, lots of interesting shops and places to eat, so many historical landmarks and more. We spent a few hours here and it was just a really great place to enjoy the sun and explore around. On now to the final location in the video, and this one is a seaside resort town located in Norfolk, and that is Great Yarmouth. There are many things to do here, including a theme park, a model village, an upside down house, so many arcades, a Ferris wheel, loads of crazy golf courses and more. But some of my personal highlights are firstly the Time and Tide Museum. So Great Yarmouth is actually home to a lot of interesting history that you can learn about in this museum, going all the way back to Great Yarmouth's fishing industry, the bombings during the war, and its many floods. It's just such an interesting museum and it's really fun to visit.
It's a big torrent.
Located at the top end of Great Yarmouth are the Venetian Gardens, which are really scenic and great for a relaxed walk. And then from here you get onto the centerpiece of Great Yarmouth, which is the beach and central pier, which is packed full of arcades and even a theatre as well, so you can see what's on during your trip.
Why is that bench down there? I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be here.
Yeah, probably. someone had a fun evening. And so that summarizes the video. Please let me know some of your favorite places in this area down in the comments. Obviously, Norfolk and Suffolk are massive, so I could never hope to fit absolutely everything into probably what is essentially a 15-minute video. But these are just some of my favorites. So yes, please subscribe if you did enjoy this video, found it helpful. Feel free to check out my other videos from around Norfolk and Suffolk. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye.